about the class. Okay. As we read the scenario, rank these heifers to be purchased by a commercial breeder on the Oregon coast and bred to Charolais bulls. They take great pride in having cattle that excel in carcass traits, but they have sacrificed maternal traits. This has led to poor milk production and calves weaning at lighter weights. Okay? The ultimate goal is to produce balanced cattle in all traits. All non-replacement progeny at weaning time will be contracted to an order buyer that markets for the Lore's lean program. The emphasis is lean, high cutability carcasses. So, birth weight. Do we have issues with birth weight? Do we need to be concerned about birth weight? No. Weaning weight. We not need to take a look at weaning weight, right? Because we're going to sell these calves at weaning time. Okay? Milk. Well, yearling weight does not come near as important, does it? Nope. Milk is important. Carcass traits are important, aren't they? Particularly ribeye area, percent retail product. Because Lore's lean program wants lean, high cutability carcass. So IMF, intermuscular fat, is not near as important. Okay? Still a good trait to have, but it's not the number one placing factor. So if you look at that, there's a heifer that dominates in all aspects, and that's what? 2. You got a heifer that's on the wrong side in all aspects, and that is 3. You look at the 2 heifers visually, hiding in the back. The 10-13 heifer is probably the big, high-performing, pounds heavy heifer in class. She's easily the boldest ribbed, the deepest ribbed, the heaviest muscled. Okay? She's a pretty functional female, isn't she? She's structurally correct. Not a bad heifer. Ways to improve her though. Doesn't she get off on her hip a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys see that needs to improve about this heifer?
I thought she could be wider base. I thought she tracked a little narrow.
She needs to be a little wider chested. I agree with that. Okay. Here's her, the bottom heifer, the 3 heifer. Isn't she kind of the small pounds light heifer in class?
Supports balance.
The 3 heifer. You look at her compared to everything else in class, isn't she the smallest? This 10-20 heifer. She's the small one, isn't she? Now, this heifer's got some good attributes, doesn't she? What do you guys like about the heifer?
Pretty square.
Because really square and level to her pins. Isn't she kind of neat looking from the side a little bit? She's long, extended through her front. She doesn't have a whole lot of rib shape though, does she? Okay? But she's got some of the right pieces. She's just really little. Okay? You guys should find her on bottom because she's the pounds light heifer. Okay? There's 2 you get sorted up into the top pair. You went off quality?
Yeah.
She's not a bad little heifer, but she's little. And she's on the data tells you she needs to go last. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because she's on the wrong side for all the traits we need. Okay, she's not going to improve milk production. She's on the wrong. She's below the breed average. We need her to improve it. And in terms of percent retail product in ribeye area, she's either right at breed average or below breed average. Okay, remember on carcass traits, except for fat, everything else we want a higher number the better. Okay, so she's below the breed average for percent retail product. So for percent retail product, that's going to correspond with cutability. More percent retail product, generally the higher cutability carcass. Does that make sense? Okay? She's a small. Comes to me is in the middle pair you guys need to kind of look at, evaluate. You look at them on paper, where they're the same from weaning weight. 4 beats 1 by 1 pound in terms of yearling weight. The 1 heifer is a little bit better in milk. Okay? The 1 heifer kind of beats 4 in some of the carcass side, but it's pretty close, isn't it? Okay? We look at them visually. Here's the 4 heifer. Here's the 1 heifer. Okay? Between these 2 heifers, which heifer becomes bigger and squarer to her hip? 1. Which heifer is longer, thinner necked? Probably 4. Okay? The 10-10 heifer. Which heifer is longer, thinner necked? Probably 4. Well, 1's pretty good. But the big difference between these heifers visually, which heifer is flat and pinches the inner forerib, and which heifer actually has some shape to her forerib?
1 has shape.
1. She's actually, if you guys study her from back there, doesn't she come really wide and square to her pins? She's really nice and good in her angles. She's pretty straight and true in her
didn't say anything about birth weight, but it is talking about maternal traits, and there are heifers, and one is too high in birth weight.
We don't have to worry about it, because they're going to get helped at calving time. So birth weight doesn't come up. Sorry. If I've been from that first scenario, Josh, minimum supervision, and this one, yes, we put a flag by it saying maybe we need to look at that.
So if it doesn't say anything about how much labor, you just
Yeah. You just assume they got 10 million people to help calve out all the calves. You assume that it'll be okay. Or they got a vet on staff that'll do everything. Does that kind of make sense? They have to say in the scenario, if they say limited feed or limited labor or minimum supervision at calving time, guess what? You better make sure you go for some low birth weight female.
Should I say that in my reasons? Even though it doesn't.
Yeah, you can tell me she is a lower birth weight female, but it's not really of importance. Okay? Now the fore heifer, you look at her, she's a pretty deep bodied heifer. But the thing is, her hip really concerns me a lot, and that's where the one heifer is concerned. Okay, the one heifer, you look at her hip, she comes wider, square, and leveler to her pins. She tracks a lot wider from behind. Okay? The fore heifer, to me, she's kind of what I call a parts and pieces heifer. Okay? She's a long stent to her front, she's smooth and flat to her shoulder, but her mid-rib, her rib cage doesn't really match her body. She really crashes in right in her forehead, doesn't have a whole lot of rib shape, and gets shortened off her hip. Okay? She's frailer than one. Yep, she's not the frailest heifer we've seen today. That poor heifer over here is pretty frail.
But she's the frailest in the class.
She's probably the frailest in the class. Okay, that's one thing. One heifer's a stouter bone, stouter featured heifer. And that's one thing you come back and grant 3 back to 4. She's a stouter bone female. Okay? The 3 heifer, I think she's a neat little heifer. She's just little. Okay? Does that make sense? And on data, she's on the wrong side of a lot of that stuff. Okay? Let the data help you do the easy things. Okay? 99% of the time, good animals will have good data. Okay? There's been a couple times in a contest where a good animal had bad data. Okay? But a very small percentage. Okay?
That sucked.
Alright. Okay, you guys are done for the day. Oh, cuts. Top cut's gonna cost you 5. Middle cut's gonna cost you 2. Bottom cut's gonna cost you 5 again. 5, 2, and 5.
Were you talking about what to do for the
Oh, for your reasons, incorporate the data. Okay. To do that, you always want to mention the visual. Okay, but if there is a big sorting thing on the data, it said, like on this 3 heifer that we're studying here, she's the least scenario acceptable female. Does that make sense to you guys? She's the least scenario acceptable because she offers the least carcass traits, so on and so forth. Okay? If you have questions, email me, or I'm going to say it again, look at some of the example sets. Some of the example sets are data, reasons that have data in them. Okay? What I'd like for you guys to do, like on the 2 heifer, I want you guys to tell me you simply came out with the heifer that sells and carcass traits. Additionally, visually, she's the highest performing, You can come out and tell me in 3, yeah, no doubt 3 is a good heifer owner, right? She's small, but on paper she concerns me. She's on the wrong side of 0 and carcass trait, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? Okay. Mention it, and especially in your compare boxes. In your compare boxes, you need to mention data at least once. Talk visual and the data together. So we're kind of culminating both into one. So you're going to have to put the visual stuff in every box, and you have to put some data in the spots where they need it. Okay? Whatever comparisons have visual and data.